What's up, everybody? Mark with Coffee&Toys here, bringing you another G.I. Joe Classified Series unboxing and review. And once again, we have reached Friday. Looking forward to the weekend. I'm sure you are too. No G.I. Joe comics came out this week, so I'm very surprised. Looks like there is a gap between March and May for G.I. Joe: A Real American Hero. And Duke and Cobra Commander, their final issues don't come out till May as well. So, figured I'd throw up another classified review. You guys and gals seem to really like that, and I've got plenty of classified figures still to get through. So, with that being said, welcome to the channel. I'm Mark. I'm with Coffee&Toys. I drink coffee, I talk about coffee, but primarily I talk about action figures from my childhood, whether they be vintage, whether they be modern, Motu, Star Wars, G.I. Joe, wrestling, you name it, it has a chance of being reviewed on this channel. So, with that being said, before we jump into today's review, please make sure you like this video, subscribe, hit that bell notification, set it to all notifications, and let's just get into talking about today's review and a couple other things I wanted to make sure I brought up. So, speaking of coffee, I did want to tell you guys about the coffee that I am considering bringing on as a brand to support the channel and to support a great local American company, and that is Coffee Brand Coffee. I have been testing out some of their stuff, and today's blend is actually their roast number 3. It is a very mild blend that is very smooth to go down. It's got kind of some chocolatey notes to it, and I really am enjoying it. I'm more of a medium to dark roast person, and this is more of a light to medium, but I really like it. You too can get your own coffee from coffeebrandcoffee.com, and yeah, I am testing out a few different ones of theirs right now, and I'm considering going on to their ambassador program and actually having them as a full sponsor on the channel, or I guess I'll be sponsoring them. They won't be sponsoring me. But I do enjoy this coffee, and again, coffeebrandcoffee.com. That's where I've been getting this from. You can have it whole bean ground. They also have other things such as cashews, nuts of that nature that are candied. So if you enjoy that kind of stuff, or you just like really good coffee, I highly recommend them and look forward to hearing more about them on the channel. So with that being said, today's review is going to be over one of the most recent classified figures that has been released, and it's going to be on the G.I. Joe team, and that character is, of course, Airborne. Let's talk about it. Okay, we have Franklin Airborne Talltree right here, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. What I do on these channels, generally I unbox the figure. After reviewing the figure in the box, we talk about the box. And then I am an out-of-box collector, if you can't tell from behind me, and I'll unbox the figure, we'll talk about some more, we'll accessorize it, and then I'll let you know whether I thought it was worth picking up or not. So that's pretty much the gist of it. Let's cut over now and check out Airborne in his package and just go from there. Okay, as you can see, we have Franklin Airborne Talltree in his package, and of course this is the 2024 packaging that is going to once again now showcase the figure inside the plastic window. Very happy to see this back, and of course we get the typical G.I. Joe Classified Series logo down here, G.I. Joe Franklin Airborne Talltree. We get this beautiful artwork right here, and you can see the entire loadout of the figure. Spinning around to the side, we do see that he is number 115 in the series, and take a moment here to pull up the iconography so that you guys can review what he is all about. Again, Hasbro, I really wish you guys would make that QR code go directly to the iconography page. That would make everybody's life a lot easier. Spinning around to the back, of course, we see that iconography does continue down here. It is nice to have it in 2 different locations, but I don't know, again, why you put it in 2 different locations. But I guess it's nice to see it on the back as well if you want to keep the back. There we go. So we have a very cool picture of Airborne. Looks like he's at Stonehenge, but I mean, it's not Stonehenge because there's or not Stonehenge, what am I going to say? Easter Island, sorry. Got a volcano erupting in the background. We have these crazy heads with laser beams coming out. We have is that supposed to be the dragonfly in the background? Let's find out. I'll zoom in a little bit. I suppose that is supposed to be the dragonfly in the background. Now, there was rumors that Airborne was going to be included with the dragonfly, and that did not happen because he's actually a main release figure. And of course we get to see some of his additional accessories, like his helmet, and then we get to see he's got his Airborne logo on his arm. Let me see if I can zoom in so you guys can see that. There you go. Perfect. Yeah, looks really good. You got all your legalese down here. And on the back, of course, you get or on the side rather, you get a nice larger print of that picture of Airborne. And I really think that I think it'd be cool if Hasbro actually released these prints like in a book or something. I mean, they've seemed to have standardized on who they're using. They used to use a whole bunch of different artists. Now they seem to have standardized on maybe a few that, or at least one that has very similar pieces of work. But I really like that. Looks really good. But that being said, there's one final look at Airborne in the package. But now let's get Airborne out of the package and see what this figure is really all about. All right, we have Franklin Airborne Talltree out of his plastic prison, and I am in love with this head sculpt. This is one of my, I mean, I know I say it a lot, but this head sculpt is fantastic. I absolutely love the texturing of the hair. I love the face. I do enjoy that he does look a little older, not much older, not like the Falcon we got, but again, I think that Falcon's a whole another issue. But man, it looks just fantastic. That is a fantastic head sculpt. And just looking down the figure, I can tell you just by looking at it that, I know the upper body is mostly reused from Grunt, Stalker, etc. These pads on the back of the arms, though, are kind of surprising me. I can't remember if those are on Grunt or not. But yeah, same with the kneecaps. Or the knee pads. I don't recognize those from any other character. I'll have to take a closer look. And then I think the boots are even new, and the pouches on the bottom legs I think are new. There's a lot more new to this figure than I initially thought. I thought it'd just be the Grunt body with a new vest slapped on it, but could be a little bit more than that. Zooming in a little bit, we can see that he does have the United States flag kind of hidden back there. You can't see the entire thing, but I believe that's what it's supposed to represent. And this web gear is just fantastic. I really do enjoy it. Of course, he's got a holster for his gun, and then this one's just for looks. Oh, the knife goes up here. I'm sorry. He's got a molded-on grenade. He's got his metal tag he can pull there. There's a nice, I'll give you a good look into this patch on his arm. That looks really cool. I do believe that was on the original figure as well. And yeah, overall, again, not going to go through all the, this stuff. They're pinless knees, pinless elbows. You guys know the story now when it comes to these figures and how they are the best 6-inch figure being made today. Just bar none, best designs, and just quality overall. And also, I guess I should say, since I've done unboxing these newer figures, the quality, again, seems to have improved. You might remember figures like that during the Shockwave wave of figures. They were kind of loose. Fireflies had some issues. Shockwave had some issues. These figures, when I did the Techno Viper, now when I'm doing Airborne, they seem to be in very, very tight condition. As you can see, there is nothing wiggling on this figure. So I am impressed with what I'm seeing right now from a QR standpoint, or not QR, I'm sorry, a QC standpoint. Now, that being said, Airborne is more than just a figure himself. He does come with a number of accessories, so let's just jump into it. First off, we'll start with probably the smallest accessory, and that is his knife, and it is just cast in all kind of a dark gray color. Nothing too exciting about it, but there it is. Moving on, he does have a small pistol as well that I just dropped. And there it is, again, cast in that same color. Small enough that it doesn't have an opening to put a accessory, like you've just fired it. No smoke can come out of the barrel. Moving on, we do get his assault rifle, which I am trying to pull out right now, which I believe. Excellent. So the silencer does come out on his little minigun. You can put it back on there. I imagine you can probably actually put it on the other weapon as well. We'll check that out in a second. And the clip comes out as well. So very cool. Again, just cast in one standard color. And you know what? I don't mind that. Would have been nice to have a pop-a collar on it, yes. But you know what? For the most part, I can live with this. Let's see real quick if that muzzle, well, I don't think that's how it's supposed to be. So yes, it does fit on there, but I don't think anybody's going to be doing that. So, but still very cool. We get the accessories for the gun. And then we do get a helmet, which this is the same helmet that's pretty much been used with Rock and Roll or Grunt. you know, with the straps down. And very cool. I will say I did compare it to the Grunt helmet, and I don't know if they reworked the mold or not. But something was different. This piece right here is much more pronounced and has more depth than the Grunt helmet. But very cool. Once again, he has his helmet. And then he does have 2 different sets of what I assume to be goggles. Now, I cannot tell you what the purpose of this is for. If it goes, I guess it goes over this goggle, but I don't know why. I'm not really 100% sure on that. So if somebody knows what the difference is between these goggles and can explain it in the comments, I would really appreciate it. I assume it has something to do since he's an airborne trooper. Maybe some sort of protection or just to make sure they stay on. Not 100% sure. Then he has this accessory that does mount onto his helmet. At least I believe it does. Looks like it pegs right into the top. So if I bring it in, maybe that's why it's deeper. Because maybe it is a new mold. Because this certainly would not work on the... well, there. I guess it does fit on there. It's interesting. It snaps kind of right in. It's not really on there tight, though. You can see the separation. So I'm not really sure what to think about that. Does it go this way maybe? Maybe I put it in the wrong way. I don't know. I would assume it goes downward because it would cover his eyes. Okay, there we go. That looks better. So, as you can see, it pops right in there. That might explain why that's helmet's a little different than Grunt's. And then finally, he does get his brown backpack with shovel. I believe this is the same backpack. I know we've gotten this backpack before. Is this coming with the new Retro Duke? Or maybe with Grunt? I don't know. I know I've seen this backpack before. It's got the 2 canteens on the side. And the shovel does not come out, but it is nice that we get that pop of black against the brown. So, very good. Overall, quite a few accessories for the figure for it being a basic figure. But let's get Airborne accessorized, and then I'll give you my final thoughts on the figure. And I'll bring Grunt in just for a comparison. Okay, I do have Airborne now accessorized. If you leave this on the helmet, you're not going to be able to use the other goggles. Now, clearly, I'll throw up on the screen here in a moment the alternate configuration for him. And I should also mention that I didn't put the suppressor on the gun, but there is an area where you can put the suppressor right there. I just have it off to the side at the moment. So, very cool figure. Give you a good look at how that helmet sets on there. It sets on there very well, and just kind of a nice view of the figure overall. Looks very nice. Very much enjoying this figure. So with that being said, I did want to bring in Grunt just because I thought that would be the nearest comparison to this figure because they've been really trying to get the mileage out of that. So here is Grunt by comparison. And if I can get him to stand up. So there you go. You can compare the 2 figures. And the Grunt figure, really a lot of the stuff they only share is the thighs and the lower arms. Well, actually, I'm not even sure on the lower arms. Let's check those paddings. So yeah, I guess the lower arms are actually new even on Airborne, even though it's that cuffed look. They are actually new because of the padding. So very interesting. So they don't share a lot of parts. There's a lot of use in this reuse in this figure. So I imagine we'll probably get a Night Force Airborne or something like that in the near future, so they can make the most of those molds. Or I'm sure other characters will have that padded armor. But I did want to bring him in, show you, just kind of do a quick comparison of the 2. Looking at it, Airborne's head does look a little bit smaller compared to Grunt's, but I still think it works really well. And yeah, that is very cool. So let me move Grunt out of the way here, and we'll get one final discussion point in about Airborne. And I really like this figure. I never had this figure growing up, but man, I like having Airborne in the lineup. He will be hanging out in my Dragonfly from HasLab whenever that comes in, which is supposed to come in sometime summer, fall, somewhere, and then in the near future, we can hope. Haven't really got much news on it. Hopefully in Yojo June, we'll get more of the more information about it. But with that being said, please drop me a comment. Let me know if you picked up Airborne or if you passed. And yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. It really helps out the channel. Every like helps. And thank you for hanging out with me today. With that said, I'm Mark. You've been watching Coffee with Toys, and I will see you later.